competing head-to-head with each other.
It's only a competition!
And the great British public.
I thought the competition was big enough.
Our chefs are at the mercy of the harshest food critics in the land, the beady-eyed country show judges.
We don't like odd ones.
It's a competition and I'm taking it very seriously.
Hold on to your aprons, it's Country Show Cook-Off. This week, star chefs Valentine Warner and Ed Baines are burning rubber as they drive the length of Britain competing at some of our best country shows.
The weather's nice and we're getting to drive around the country, which is a great privilege.
They're baking, blitzing and whizzing up a selection of fare for the mightiest of competitions, taking them on a journey from the top to the very bottom of England and back. And today, they reach Stokesley. So far, Val and Ed are 1-1 in their 5-day foodie cook-off. Val took 3rd place for his roulade at Otley.
I'll come first.
And Ed's picked up a point for packaging at the Brighton Chili Festival.
Fantastic, thank you.
But after 3 competitions, neither of our lads have even come close to the first place they desperately crave. Today our boys' cook-off takes them to the spectacular town of Stokesley in North Yorkshire, sandwiched between the North York Moors and Middlesbrough.
I will say, you know, Yorkshire's God's own county and a really stunning county.
This thriving market town is lined with gorgeous Georgian and Regency buildings. The locals are proud that 18th century explorer Captain James Cook went to school nearby. At this time of the year, fun spreads through the town when the fair arrives, gearing everyone up for the Stokesley show.
It's wonderful to see so many people turning out and coming into the show and enjoying the fair during the week.
First held in 1859, the Stokesley Show is at the heart of the local area. Its aim has always been to promote trade and improve techniques in nearby agriculture, rural crafts and breeding livestock. Now herds of 20,000 pile in to share the fun, witness the spectacle and take part in the competition.
We are a husband and wife team, yes. I do the baking and he does the eating.
I eat the rejects.
What's he like? Our foodie fellows will be competing in Class 66, a packed lunch for 2. The only rule is that they must submit 4 items to be judged. Presentation will be taken into account.
It's a little bit cracked.
Our lads must meet the high standards of Judge Christine Tennant, who's not only an experienced judge, but also has entered and won competitions for 30 years.
I was getting somewhere in the region of about 17 trophies a year.
Oh, so Christine knows her stuff. At a show like this, rules are important and judging strict. A packed lunch is traditionally taken to work or school, so Val and Ed must make sure they stick to their brief.
It's really reading the schedule carefully and abiding by the rules.
So lads, that means making 4 items for your packed lunch. Simple. Well, it would be if they weren't up against Stokesley's finest, like local lass Barbara.
So how come roasting mutton holes and vegetables and near enough everything I've entered over the years?
This is no picnic, so get ready for one cracker of a cook-off.
I'd probably be disqualified for entering that. Bingo, bango, bongo. Done.
Valentine Warner's passion for all things foodie started whilst fishing, shooting and cooking on his family's Dorset farm. Having since worked in some of London's finest eateries, Val's food is truly top.
Very nice.
Classically trained chef Ed Baines has cooked in some of Britain's best restaurants, from the Dorchester to the River Cafe. But the challenges of cooking outdoors can push a man to his limits.
Try and keep calm.
The lads may be entering the Stokesley show, but they're not cooking there. Ed and Val are making their dishes 30 miles east of Stokesley in the picture-perfect coastal town of Whitby, a place close to Ed's heart.
Yeah, it's beautiful, Val. And there's something about Whitby that's special and no one can quite put their finger on it.
Whitby's known for its gorgeous views and
Beautiful.
pretty streets.
Lovely. Look at that, what a great spot.
To prepare for their challenge, they're using Whitby's Quayside, an ideal location for their camp kitchen.
Set the van up.
Between them, our lads need to cook up 8 separate elements for their packed lunches, which is no mean feat at this country show cook-off.
Right, so it's Stokes Show packed lunch category tomorrow.
Packed lunch.
What's your tactic?
My tactic is to make lots of delicious, varying delights. I'm going to make a Scotch egg from fresh. I'm going to make a sandwich, a little chutney as well to go with it.
Is it Silk Road chutney?
No, it's not actually. It's a piccalilli.
Despite losing with his first 2 chutneys, Ed's making a third, and Val, well, he's already made 1 packed lunch.
Well, I didn't read the category, so I've gone more for picnic, and so I'm going to do curried poussin, and then I'm going to make some little barbars and steep them in elderflower vodka.
Barbars? Barbars are little cakes soaked in alcohol, usually rum, not typical in a packed lunch.
You've gone really left field on this because you thought it was a picnic.
Yeah.
But if they just sing It's Lovely, and I'm sure it will be, I reckon you could win it on that.
But it's risky. As Judge Christine said, reading the show schedule is vital, and traditional shows like Stokesley are very strict. The boys have gone off-piste before, but this could be sheer madness. If Val's boozy picnic is dismissed for not being a packed lunch, all his hard work could be for nothing. With eateries lining Whitby's harbour, mouth-watering seafood is obviously the local speciality of choice. So before they crack on with their cooking, Ed and Val are checking out one of Whitby's finest food producers.
Morning. Morning.
First set up in 1872, Fortune Smokehouse is an award-winning 5-generation family-run fish smokers, now in the hands of brothers Barry and Derek.
Nice musky, oaky wood smell. Fantastic.
The reassuring smell of wood smoke.
Barry and Derek specialise in kippers, which are smoked herrings. They prepare, smoke and sell up to 800 of them on a busy day. Val's even picking up some for use in a pâté for his packed lunch.
How long does a smoked kipper keep for?
When you buy it today, you've got 4 more days.
So people come far and wide for your kippers? Yeah.
All over, yeah.
Your kippers are very famous.
Apparently so.
First, Derek guts the herring and soaks them in brine for 40 minutes. Then it's off to the smoke shed, where Barry uses techniques that have been passed down through the family for 140 years.
So what wood is that you've got?
That's just a softwood, like a pine.
Yeah.
And then we'll put the oak on top of that.
Yeah.
Good pile of oak, and then some sawdust on top of that to keep it calm. Calms right down, you just get like a very low heat off that. It's cold smoking, basically, this.
It's the smoke is the ingredient, really.
It's, well, we couldn't do it, was it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing just picking up that smell. It's just wafting around in here. That's exactly the taste you get on the fish.
Armed with Barry's best kippers for Val's kipper patty, the boys head back to base, as they must make at least 4 items each for their packed lunches for 2. They've not yet had much luck in their cook-off, so they must up their game to stand a chance of winning that elusive first prize.
I'm going to do a little curried poussin with some potato salad. I'm going to make a smoked fish pâté, and lastly some little barbars, but absolutely drenched in elderflower vodka.
Controversial. If packed lunches are taken to work and school and picnics are usually eaten on days out, Judge Christine may disqualify a vodka-doused cake in a picnic. Ed's gone for a more classic packed lunch.
You've got it all, really. A sandwich, a bag of crisps, a Scotch egg, some piccalilli and a chocolate cake. Only 4 of those things are going to be judged, but I'm going to put 5 in anyway.
Oh, you rebel, you, Ed. The packed lunch for 2 must include 4 items. So, as long as it's 4 or more, Ed should be on safe ground. With 5 to do, he's starting on his pudding first, a chocolate and cherry slice.
3 eggs, go in a bowl, give it a whisk up. I have one thing so far, which was more to do with design than cooking. But so I really like this to score this time round and actually walk away and be able to come home with something I can stick on my wall. Give them a bit of a whisk up, and then we're using some muscovado sugar. There we go. So we give this a good mix. Make sure all of the lumps in the sugar have dissipated and broken down. Right, so part 2 of this recipe, sifting flour with a little teaspoon of raising agent using baking powder, and sift it through. Again, always important, get the lumps out, get it nice and light. Now into that, I've got a lot of walnuts, and you put them on a tea towel. You put another tea towel over the top and you give them a really good rub. Rub and rub and rub and rub and rub. Shake the walnuts out. Get rid of all the skins of the walnut. You lose that bitterness. They become really nutty and quite nice actually. Toss them through. They're looking good. We found these lovely cherries. I'm going to cut them into little slices so you can really see the cherry going through the cake.
Ooh, for an extra delicious flavour, Ed's combining milk and dark chocolate. He's already melted the dark stuff with butter in the shelter of the van.
So rich, but look at that lovely glaze. Lovely. Just a little salt. Not a lot. Combine the chocolate now nice and steadily into the egg mixture with using a spatula. And again, just add a little at a time of flour and walnuts, and very lightly just move it around. In go the cherries. Trying to disperse them around a bit because they're all sticking together. In goes that chocolate. Look at that. It's just ferocious, isn't it, really, this recipe? But
oh yes, and scrummy too, Ed. Just needs whacking into a grease and lime tin and into the oven at 190 degrees. And 40 minutes later, Ed's chocolate and cherry slice looks fab. So, on to packed lunch treat 2, vegetable crisps. Simply pop sliced veggies into hot oil until golden brown, drain and sprinkle with salt.
okay, onwards and upwards. I'm now going to make these lovely Scotch eggs. I think any packed lunch has to have a Scotch egg in it. The first thing I need to do is I'm going to put some apple in with the sausage meat because I just think that's delicious. You get a little sort of pork and apple, works beautifully together, and a little bit of fresh apple. So I'm just going to trim these apples down.
Which isn't easy when you're cooking al fresco at the seaside.
My knife skills are slightly cack-handed at the moment because I can't really feel my hands. Good quality sausage, very important. The finest sausages are usually made from the shoulder and the hand or the neck of the pig, and empty that out. So there is the sausage meat. Okay, I'm now squashing this out, my apple and sausage mixture, into a pancake.
Obviously the key ingredient is an egg, which has been boiled for 7 minutes, then plunged into ice water and peeled.
It's very, very windy, and it does just make things a little bit trickier when you're cooking at home.
His egg wash is made with a pinch of salt, a smidgen of nutmeg and a little milk.
Now, take my egg, put it in there, and now very gently and slowly I'm just going to shape it around the egg, trim off any excess. You just want it a nice even coat. Very important you seal this nicely. Jolly good. A pinch of salt into the flour and knock around, and then I think this would be okay now.
For a gorgeous coating, pop the sausage covered egg into the flour mix.
Lovely, into the egg.
Finally, it's dipped into breadcrumbs and carefully placed in a pot of hot oil until crispy. So, what next?
Pop it in the oven 10 minutes. Just the important bit that the pork meat is really nicely cooked through. Put it on the middle
Meanwhile,
shelf.
Val spotted the flaw in his alcoholic picnic.
The problem is that if the kids take it to school, they can't eat the vodka barbars. If it's taken to a factory, they can't operate machinery.
Who's it suitable for then?
The likes of me.
And me, but country show judges can be very particular, though Val's not the only one with problems.
It's got a big split on it.
Oh dear.
I'd probably be disqualified for entering that.
So yeah, what are you going to do?
Quite simple, do it again.
While Ed forges ahead with his second egg, Val jumps in to get going on his picnic. I mean packed lunch, starting with curried poussin.
I've got one little poussin, and I'm just going to snip it down its backbone. So then I'm going to turn it around and snip all the way through.
Hands washed, onto the curry mix.
I'm going to put some cardamom pods in, probably about 6. I'm just going to give them a bash, but then I'm going to take all the shells out. Okay, some fennel seeds, a few of those. Some coriander seeds, which I've pre-toasted, just so you get that kind of nice, that floral, slightly orangey taste. What else is going in here? A good punch of black pepper, a good whack of curry powder. Probably just a, oh no, that's turmeric, oops.
Oh, don't you just hate it when that happens?
Now some curry powder, a couple of teaspoons of that.